Well, it is a gorgeous mild evening and we thought it was just right for some hot chocolate al fresco.
So while we do that and get the camping stove on, we thought we'd have a chat to you about converting our van.
So, as you may know, we bought this van about 6 months ago now. I can't believe it's been 6 months actually.
Yeah.
So we bought this van in April. And the reason we bought this van then was that our tow car for our caravan was starting to develop some problems and we had a few trips planned. So we wanted to buy a more reliable tow car, and we had already been toying with the idea of a van conversion or a camper van at some point. So we took the plunge, didn't we?
And we just brought those plans forward a little bit. You know, obviously we gave it a lot of thought in terms of finance and making that happen.
Yeah.
And was it the right time and the right decision and everything like that?
It was a big leap, wasn't it? Because it
but
was a big cost.
You can go back and watch the video that we made when we bought the van if you're interested in that.
Yeah, we'll link that below. But in those 6 months, we've done a lot of driving in this van and a lot of towing actually. So we've done quite a few trips already. In April, shortly after, in fact, a week after we bought the van, hence the hurry to buy it,
Yeah.
we drove to Ireland with our caravan. First time putting the caravan on a ferry. The van performed brilliantly in Ireland and towed like a dream. And then the next big test was a 2-week trip to France, which was a lot of fun.
That was great. We did a lot of driving then as well. We took the caravan on the shuttle, so over to France. We did a quick pit stop in Belgium, and then we drove all the way down to the Alsace in France. So, you know, we thoroughly tested out the van and its towing capabilities, and we only really had one slight issue with the van while we were in France, and that was with the diesel particulate filter. It was clogged, and so we contacted Red Pennant, our insurance and breakdown cover, and they sorted us out. We took it into a garage and they basically said it's a known thing with this particular type of van. You just have to basically take it to a fast road and bomb it.
That was really good fun.
Yeah. And that kind of, you know, clears out the clog in the filter basically. So we subsequently had quite a lot of really helpful comments from people about that particular fault, and the general advice is not to do lots of short distances if possible. So try to do longer journeys where you can.
Yeah, and I think it's a known issue with these engines. So maybe a little bit of a compromise, but overall it drives fantastically. Definitely plenty of power and exactly what we needed for a tow car. We have decided that this is definitely the van for us and is definitely the one that we want to convert. So much so that we even went away and had a little basic camping setup trip to a funky campsite called Cattlestone Farm, and there will be a video on that. And we
have a lot of videos to edit, and things have been quite busy, so we've got
a backlog, haven't we? Yeah. It's quite stressful. We've got more work to do on this than we do at work. But we just threw a blow-up bed in the back, put our power station in there, a table, all of our bits and bobs, you know, gas stove, that kind of stuff. And we even jumped on Facebook Marketplace and found a drive-away awning. So definitely look out for that video. But it gave us a really good taster of what it would be like. And so we agreed after that this is definitely the van that we want to do a full conversion on. So we should probably recap on the van that we bought. So we bought a 2019 VW Transporter T6. It's a T32, so it has a higher load capacity.
We refer to our van as Big T.
We do.
Just so you know. Big
T. Big Tony, like play on words, towing the caravan. Yeah, sad, isn't it? But anyway, it's a long wheelbase, so got a little bit more space to play with than a short wheelbase. It's a DSG automatic, so it's really nice to drive. 200 brake horsepower, so plenty of power, which is good for normal driving, but also for towing the caravan as well. So definitely the right van for us.
Yeah, definitely. And we know that we want to do a full conversion with the van, so we want to be able to be self-sufficient, so we need to have some kind of power setup, battery, we want to have, you know, onboard waste and water facilities so that we can go off grid maybe for a day or two, and
I think that's really important for us, isn't it? Because it's opened up, it will open up lots of different possibilities of quirkier places to stay.
Yeah, places that we can't currently take the caravan, for example.
Yeah, definitely, that's right.
You know, we'd like to explore some more of those places.
Do still want to be able to tow the caravan. So if you're here for caravan content, don't worry, that's not going
Trailer
anywhere.
Swift is not going anywhere.
And we're just marrying her to Big Tony. But actually in Ireland, when we were staying on one site, we popped off for a couple of days and drove the Ring of Kerry, and we stayed in a B&B. And it would have been fantastic to be able to pop off, leave the caravan on site, drive off and stay in the van, and then come back again. That was a really cool experience. I'd love to be able to do that in a camper van. Yeah,
and there are also some caravan sites, I think, that would be ideal as well for just kind of popping off in the camper van too once it's converted.
I agree.
So,
yeah. In fact, just last weekend, sneak preview, we went to London. We went to Abbey Wood Caravan and Motorhome Club site. We went to a concert in London.
Video coming soon,
along with all the others. And we took the caravan, but that would have been absolutely fine to just take the van. Be one of those occasions where just for 2 nights, maybe not bother with the caravan, just take the van. Big Tony to the rescue.
So some thoughts about layout, because I think that's really, really key. We definitely want to have a pop top installed because we just want that bit of extra height. We don't necessarily need a bed in the pop top, it's just the 2 of us, so we're quite happy foregoing that and just having a bed that we can convert from seating in the van.
Yeah, and also that means that because there's only ever going to be 2 of us in there, we don't either need like rear travel seats, so we don't need the ability for people to be in a seat that they can travel in with a seatbelt on either.
Yeah, and in fact we've taken the rear seats out because it gives us more storage room and more space to put our stuff when we tow the caravan. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we don't need any other travelling spaces. So that kind of means that inside we're fairly open in terms of layout. We actually borrowed a van from Sussex Caravans way back in February, actually.
Which was fantastic, and it was really kind of what sparked the whole thought process
of the van. It really did. Yeah, it was a real eye-opener, wasn't it? That had a rock and roll bed, so that's got its pros and cons as well. We've been having a look online, and we've seen a few other options. We've seen bench seats, we've seen U-shaped seats, but we haven't seen any of those in the flesh yet, have we?
No, and I think that will really help because I think it's once you're actually in a space that you can really then appreciate how it might work for you. I think one of the things that's really going to be important for us is storage and where to put all of our stuff and what layout is going to give us the kind of space that we use. We do tend to find that we like to sit around a lot in the evening and relax.
Yeah, we're not lazy, but we do like to sit around a lot.
So that's a consideration as well, you know, what might be the most kind of comfortable setup for, you know, perhaps sitting around playing a board game or relaxing in the evening.
Yeah, definitely. That's and I think that's where the caravan has a nice layout for us. That works well, doesn't it?
Yeah,
so
it does.
Yeah, trying to figure that out in a very small space, how to make the best of it. But that's kind of the fun of this sort of stage of planning, really, isn't it? Anyway, this hot chocolate is ready to pour out.
Good, I'm ready to drink it.
Me too. Ooh. Why don't we do this more often?
Why don't we do this more often?
Aha.
Got some leftover
marshmallows.
Vegetarian, vegan marshmallows.
Vegan marshmallows. They're massive, aren't they? They're not kind of the small ones that you normally put in hot chocolate.
No, they are a bit chunky.
Yeah, they're good for toasting around a campfire.
Oh, it's a good hot chocolate.
It is a good hot chocolate, very warming. So let's talk about next steps, because there is so much to consider, clearly. So we are headed to the NEC, and we're going to be there for the Caravan and Motorhome Club show.
Yeah, we're really excited. I think it's really important to try and get in as many vans as we possibly can, see what we like, see what we don't like, speak to as many people as possible, as many companies as possible.
Yeah, and also other punters, you know, like if you see us walking around the NEC looking at all these vans and
Looking
you've done
lost.
a van conversion, please stop us and tell us about it, because we'd love to know. But I think, yeah, having an exhibition or a show like that where there are so many vans on display that you couldn't possibly get to if you were driving around to different places, I think it's going to be really priceless, isn't it? So we're really looking forward to that.
Really looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to getting into some vans and seeing if the layout that I think in my head is the one that would work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is actually how I anticipate it.
Because it's so hard. You see them online, or you even come up with an idea, but visualising it in that small space is really, really tricky. And we've got things to consider, like, do we do a DIY conversion? There are lots of kits out there nowadays that you can get. Or do we go for like a fully managed installation service, you know, a conversion service?
Or a complete DIY build from scratch ourselves, which would
That
be
sounds ambitious.
a very big test of our DIY skills. We have renovated houses before, but it's on a completely different level, isn't it?
Yeah, and yeah, it is. And we've kind of read some of the things around how, you know, you need to strengthen things for being in a vehicle that's going to be constantly moving and vibrating and things like that.
And not invalidating your insurance and stuff like that.
That's a really
with some
important
janky
point, actually.
build.
Yeah, it's a really important point. But yeah, so there's loads to think about, but it is really super exciting. I think going to the NEC this week is going to be really helpful for us, so really looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to it hopefully helping us to make some of those decisions about how we go about the conversion and what we do, because the big consideration is that time versus budget, because there's a sweet spot. Obviously, having a company do the conversion for us is undoubtedly more expensive, but the time it would take us to build it ourselves,
Yeah, it's
you
true.
know, it's
Maybe
a bit of a-
send it away and forget about it until it comes back. This has some appeal, doesn't it? But yeah, so if you've got any tips, any thoughts,
recommendations,
any warnings, like any lookouts, things that we shouldn't do, things we should be aware of, yeah, we'd love to hear them. Drop them in the comments below.
or come and tell us
Yes.
when you see us at the NEC.
Yeah, if you see us wandering around, please do stop us and tell us. But meanwhile, we hope you've enjoyed that short update video on our plans, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.